jazz legend here, Lonnie Liston Smith, is with us today as a part of the Legends Tour coming to San Antonio, but most importantly, sometime giving people up close and personal opportunity of knowing a little bit about you that they may not know. Now, tell us how you got started.
Okay, well, Quinn, what happened was, my father was a member of the Harmonizing Four gospel group.
Okay.
So they're famous all over the world, and so when I was young, all I heard was music. And like all the Dixie Hummingbirds, the Blind Boys, everybody talk about that. They used to come by their house because they had gospel festivals.
Okay.
And I met Sam Cooke when he was the Soul Stirrers, and then that was the people don't realize the Womack brothers. They had a gospel group.
Okay.
Then of course went on Bob and all that.
Right.
So it was music, and then I played in marching bands in high school.
Okay.
Went to Morgan State University, and then ended up in New York.
Ended up in New York,
Yeah.
right? And so when you started going through your studies in music, what became your love?
But what happened was, I heard Charlie Parker playing over someone's house when I was in high school. And I said, "What is that?" They said, "Well, he's playing jazz and doing improvisation." I said, "Wow, well that's what I want to do." So then you have to start learning how to create and find your own sound.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's how you got on into it, huh?
Right.
Now they talk in your music, it transcends to all types of jazz. You got funk, you got all this in your background.
Right.
When you listen to it, what was the kind of music that you saw where as your career started to take off, how jazz started to evolve?
Well, what happened was, I worked with everybody. Art Blakely and the Jazz Messengers, Rosson Roland, Kirk, Max Roach. But then I ended up working with Miles Davis. And so I saw Miles Davis, he had all these pedals hooked up to his trumpet. So before I did the record Expansions, that what took off. And expand your mind, so you have a vision of a new world, but we can all live in peace and harmony. So I hooked up all the pedals to my Fender Rhodes and came up with a whole new sound.
Right.
And so, because what I want to do with music is to inspire people, and because there's a lot of craziness going on in the world today.
Definitely.
And so I'm trying to do my part and try to bring some peace and harmony and love to everyone, and hope it works.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And your music is can be heard. You listening to the influences of jazz, not just in the jazz genre. It crosses over into hip hop, into R&B.
When it's blowing my mind. There's a song I wrote called "A Garden of Peace." Man, Jay-Z, Mary J. Blige, Meek Mills just sampled it. They all fell in love with it. Just a beautiful song, but they all sampled it, and I wrote it because it was a garden of peace. In all this craziness, we all need a garden of peace.
Absolutely.
Now the young kids, they've found it. They love it.
That's it. And sometimes they may not even realize that what they like about that music that's hitting them, when they hear that background, they don't realize jazz is already a part of them before they know it.
That's how they're discovering jazz. They hear it in the background, then they go find it.
That's right. They go seek it out and then realize, there's a whole library of this stuff that's out there for them.
That's it.
Now, in your career, as you started to take off and hit on the road, you work with a lot of people.
Right.
Who would you think has influenced you? What was some of the most exciting parts of your career of being out on the road?
Well, each one was different.
Okay.
Art Blakely, we all had the right music. Rosson Roland Kirk, he played more than one horn. Max Roach was a great drummer, worked with Charlie Parker. So, but when I got with Miles Davis is like, I guess he's like the epitome so far. Because he was very creative and very honest, on stage and off stage.
Right.
Because if you notice, most people that left Miles Davis band formed their own group. Herbie Hancock, Chick Corea, The Weather Report, Wayne Shorter. So Miles made you stronger.
He definitely made you stronger. He challenged you.
That was it. That's a good word.
Right, definitely. And you hear that and the influences, and that, I'm guessing that benefits all the artists as then they branch out into do their own thing and express their own music in their own way.
That's it, because like you said, he challenged you to be yourself. He would get upset if you weren't creative and spontaneous and doing improvisation. So like you said, by him challenging you, he made you stronger.
Absolutely.
Right.
So, and all of your travels internationally and domestically, what was some of the things that even for you was like, wow, this is an experience for me?
Well, traveling to different countries.
Oh, yeah.
And when you go overseas, you find out the people really they're really into jazz more so than in America.
That's something.
And we've been to Australia, Japan, all over Africa, Europe, and I mean, they really love it. And they, I mean, man, they read a lot of those. You know, and they walk up to you, ask you a question, you be saying, "Oh, wait a minute, okay." You know, so Quinn, it's traveling the world is a good experience.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
I'm sure. Some of the greats that you worked at on stage, when you come off a stage and people who love jazz come up to you, what is the greatest reward for you in the music that you give to them?
Well, what happens is, I remember when I was in college, you know, I would listen to John Coltrane, Miles Davis, and they would get me through school.
Okay.
So now when people come up to me and the kids say, they said, "Man, your music got me through college," or the guys come back from overseas, Vietnam, they say, "Man, your music got me through the war." So I know what they mean.
Absolutely, you know what that is, and that's the gift that keeps on giving.
That's it, man.
And so now, as the legends, as you guys are out there going to cities, you're both having people who have loved jazz for decades, and then new fans who are now getting introduced to it.
Right.
As you continue to write your book and turn those pages, what now is next for you?
Well, right now, just keep playing.
Keep playing.
Because the music industry right now is kind of seems like it's upside down. You know, because there's no more record stores like it used to be.
Right.
But for some strange reason, vinyl is coming back, and so the main thing I like with this All-Star tour, people get a chance to hear 4 artists who can, you know, really play, and so that's a good experience for them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Keep on giving. So, if somebody was coming to see you guys, how would you paint the picture for your own promo? How would you paint the picture? They coming to see the legends performing live. It's a treat to see all of you guys sharing the same stage on one night. What would you tell anybody who was coming out there?
Be on time, because I open the show. You know, I open the show and I play my probably 4 numbers, maybe 5. Then Ronnie comes on, and Gene and Norman. But at the end, we all get together, and we got a nice closing song, so you're really going to enjoy it.
So there you have it. The Legends tour coming to San Antonio. Certainly here with a living legend here with us today, Lonnie Liston Smith, and we're looking forward to keep blessing us with your music in the industry.
Brad.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it, brother.
Thank you, brother. All right.